Yo and hello, welcome to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. My name is Dylan and I'll be your host tonight. And today is going to be a fun one. I don't know if you guys recognized that intro, but that was Mike Moynihan's intro, hey and hello. This is a combination of a VR, shout outs, love for this collecting hobby. I've got things to show off. I got things I've been doing, and I wanted to just do it all in one, long form style, my style. And so, Mike, if you're watching, you definitely do not have to watch this whole thing. It's totally cool. You got 1 million followers to, I can't imagine how many people did this VR. But this is going to be way more than that. So I'll do the VR first. And then you can move on or whatever. So stoked. So first off, I want to say thank you, Mike, for putting this on. And I wasn't sure if I was going to even do this. I'm just not. I'm pretty optimistic guy, and the card thing collecting for me is obviously it's more than just collecting for me, and I've talked about that before. It does have a place financially in my life as far as I really want to sell baseball cards for a living my whole life. Obviously, my main focus is I'm a collector, and I've been collecting my whole life by myself until I found Golden Age of Cardboard on podcasts. So I had been a huge podcast listener for a decade, something like that. My dad got me into them, and I used to have a job on the mainland where I was cutting surfboards on a CNC machine, and so I had headphones in for 8 hours a day, doing the computer, running in the office, just doing it all, and I always had a book on or podcast. So I found Mike's Golden Age of Cardboard, I want to say 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Not sure 100% on all this stuff. But I'll make this story short. It's the first time I ever heard someone talk about baseball cards besides me and friends growing up, when you're kids but really, I have a couple local guys here, but I wasn't that close to them as I am now 3 years later. And a lot of it has to do with me. All of it has to do with me finding Mike's podcast, Golden Age of Cardboard, and listening and just being like, this is sick. It just blew my mind. I couldn't get enough. I went back. I listened to so many of his old ones. He didn't know I was just listening to a podcast. I had never even left a review on a podcast in my life. I'm a horrible person, I know, but I've never even done that because I've never felt this passionately about something. I was so excited. So Mike's podcast, after listening to him, and he's talking about YouTube for a year, maybe it was 1.5 years, maybe it was 6 months, I don't know, but I reached out to him and sent him a message on Instagram, and he probably thought I was a crazy person. I had this wall built for years, and I showed him pictures, and first thing I did was tell him how much I loved his podcast, and I don't know exactly what I said, but it was super long, and I just shot it out there. Just me randomly. I didn't know he had this huge following on YouTube or whatever you call them, subs. I don't know. Weird followers. I don't think anyone's a follower. I hate that word. There's a pet peeve right there. I don't like that word follows. Don't follow me into anything I do. Just do what you want to do. And Mike's always taught that. And listening to Mike's podcast, back to the story, it's I started hearing Don's Field of Dreams was on there, George, Diamond Yard Sports Cards. He had all these people who he was interviewing, and the main one, I remember those two specifically because it was about their favorite card from the 1950s through, I think it was the 70s or 80s even. I think the 70s, and they had different guys on each time, or Mike did. So that was the episode that pushed me over the edge, that I'm I want to be involved, because that's what I cared about, was the design, people's favorite cards, the colors, just the stunning, like what it feels like when you see a baseball card and when you're crazy like I am and there's other people out there, and I look at a card and I can pick up any baseball card and it just, Orlando talked about it the other night, and he was on James Elite Hunter show, and it was awesome. I was working during it, and then I could tune in, but I was listening the whole time, and then I would text, and it's like whatever it does to us as collectors. It's like I said it before. It's like a drug, because it's just awesome. It puts me in it takes me to a place. It takes me to this safe zone in this. Not that I'm not safe anywhere else, and I don't love my life, and we all do, but I can just go in and dive in and spend hours just looking at baseball cards. And that's like, for me, I'm such a hardcore, like, I'm like, let's go. Like, I don't like wait for people. Like, I surf every day, and me and my wife surf together. In fact, we just had the most epic session just literally 2 hours ago. We were by ourselves in the middle of the ocean, sheet glass, crystal clear water, far out, paddle out, and we're just like in this magical spot. Waves were firing. It was just an awesome session. So I'm like, dude, and we weren't gonna surf because it was smaller today, and so I'm like gonna do a video and we're gonna get some stuff done. It's been pumping, so I've been watching YouTube. It's been firing waves, and that's my love, that's my passion. So when I'm outside doing things, I'm always busy, and then I do yards for a living, and I have ponds. We build ponds, me and my dad. We have huge ponds outside, and we have a garden tour that we've created, cemented garden tour, and we have 2 acres, so we have this like magical playground over here. So baseball cards, getting back to that, is like it brings me in the house, and it lets me sit down, it lets me relax, and it lets my mind wander into my childhood. And not even just my childhood, just that feel in general, but it takes me back. I'm sitting in Baseball Cards Plus and looking at the one Mickey Mantle rookie card that I saw when I was a kid, and remembering that exact moment I saw that, not his rookie card, but 52 tops. And it just was, I just can picture myself right here, and the glass was right there, and I was looking at it like this, and it was just like, my mind was blown. It was like a $10,000 card back then. So that's just like going back full circle back to Mike Moynihan, and the thing he wrote me back. So back to that, I sent him a text, Instagram, and he wrote me back. I don't know how long it was. I can't remember everything, but I was just like, wow. Oh, wow, somebody connected with me. This guy, this podcast, this famous, I didn't think it's famous, it's a podcast though. Anyone I listen to podcast, I never talk to someone. So that got me thinking, maybe it was a year after that even. I'm not sure. I'll have to look in my phone, or 6 months, that my wife's like, you gotta just do a video. You gotta get on there. So I made up the name, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. Me and my wife talked about it, and the first video I did, it was like, I had a couple of drinks, and I'm just like, okay, go. I was so nervous. I was so scared. It was really hard for me. Like, I don't think you guys, I know a lot of you guys understand this. A lot of us collectors, we're not like, if you knew me in the flesh, I'm not shy. I'm super, like, I guess you'd call me an outgoing person. But being like, talking to your peers, like in high school or in, elementary, and doing like a book report, like what we're doing, I would just lock up, and I couldn't do them. They were terrible. I was so bad at speaking in front of people. So this wasn't easy for me to enter. And so that's how much I really wanted to be involved in this community. And it has just flourished. It's paid dividends. It has warmed my heart. I have real friends that I connect with on here, and everyone has been kind and just so awesome. So it's hard. So, so far off. I'm just enjoying hanging out with everybody. And I'm just trying to get back to that again. So my videos might be long, but that's okay. I promise I'll show some baseball cards. Always do. But you know what? At least I have them laying out so you can look at stuff. And this bat, man, sick bat. Mangini, little Mangini bat right here. So back to the whole, like, getting involved. It's because of Mike, and it's because of Mike's show, and it's because of the guys he had on the show. And the only reason, you know, I kept doing this is because I made real friends, and it's been super fun. So with all that said, I mean, I guess my pet peeves are really tough. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm going to show you a card right now that I think Mike will enjoy. So I'll stop swinging that bat around. So check this guy out right here. So this card right here, you could probably see it from back there. I'm going to bring it up. This is a Dick Perez. This card right here, 1992 Donruss. It's probably the greatest looking Ricky Henderson card I've ever seen personally. And the main reason I bought this is, well, literally I came across it and I was just like, it was like, zing! I don't even like shiny cards. But I have been, like, wanting to get, I've been going back and looking at all the old, like, Elites, Donruss Elites, the Upper Deck autographs, and that's also because of Mike. Like, those old ones you can pull in packs in when I was 12 years old and 10 years old that were, like, folklore. And so this is a folklore card, and I'm going to show you guys. This is the 1992. Come around that way. Look at this baby. You guys are going to be blown away right here. I got a shiny card in my collection. '92 Donruss. Ricky Henderson's The Legends series. So these are the same as the Elite. Like when I was a kid, this was full-blown folklore. You heard about your friends pulling an Elite card, and you just... I never saw someone pull it, and they always had these in the cases for hundreds of dollars. So in this card, like, I wasn't in the market for this card. I saw this randomly, and it just took my breath away. I was so excited. I could, dude, I'm buying that card, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't like outrageously priced. It was an auction. I mean, look at that. It looks like Dick Perez. I grew up with Dick Perez. Like, he's the king of art cards, and as a kid, you know, for me, like, I loved all those art cards he did. I mean, it looks like Ricky Henderson's in motion. It's insane. Scott, your art is just as sick. Dick Perez is just more famous. That's it. The back, this thing's numbered to 7,500. So it sounds crazy, right? But you guys know this was when they're printing millions and hundreds of millions of cards, whatever it is. And these were just impossible. So, Mike, I wanted to show you this. So if you're still watching, I just love this card. I know you guys would like it too. And it's super random for me. And I just love it's on like older cardboard stock. And then it's not shiny in the middle. I sent it to somebody and they thought about that. I forgot who it was, Shane or Adam, or I'm not sure, but man, that card's just stunning. So there you go, Mike. I wanted to show you that card since you collect Perez Steel and Dick Perez cards, so that was awesome. And you know what? I'll do a quick, my pet peeves, real simple. I don't like penny sleeves whatsoever. I can't stand them. I ding more cards putting cards in penny sleeves than anything else. And what's so crazy about that is that I was just watching Mike and Ty on the fly right before I did this video, or 2 days ago. I listened to the rest of it today, so half 2 days ago and half today. And he talked about Ty. They're working with a company that does, I always go, why don't they do a back lip on the penny sleeves that you can put the cards in easier? Like the card saver. That's why I love card savers. They're awesome. no penny sleeve needed. You slide it in, at least for vintage cards. And so I hate penny sleeves, but then they came out and they told me they have ones like that. Whoo, so stoked. So there's my pet peeve. Check. Done. Next pet peeve, I guess, if you're going to make, no, nothing makes me mad because I don't get mad at someone. If they want to buy this or buy that, I don't care. And if their videos are cool, I'm going to watch them, like Jeff's. I mean, everyone, I'm not everybody, but I watch a lot of his shows. And I don't not like Jeff. I think he's a really nice guy, and I think that he really does like collecting cards. Do I think that he's like buying all that stuff back in the day? I knew it was the worst decisions ever. I think any of us been in the hobby for years knows that wasn't the right move. And I understand that, people could be mad at that, and I get it, and I totally think it's awesome that, guys have said like that's wrong, and I'm totally fine with that too. But I'm not going to be the Superman. I'm just going to be the guy in the background that's just going to enjoy everything. Whatever's out there, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm not going to get frustrated about it. So I guess, man, I wasn't even going to bring that up because that's like a poke the bear for some people. But, I just, a lot of things don't bother me. I know it sounds weird, but it truly doesn't. I don't care what Topps does. I don't care if Topps prints 100 billion base cards. Makes no difference to me. There's another pet peeve. Anyone who complains that cards are too expensive for kids these days. I don't understand that either. Let me check the video. I didn't know if I changed it back. You guys are looking right in my nostrils. I don't think cards are expensive for kids. I do not think they're expensive for kids. $20 blasters. When I was a kid, packs I started in 86, 87, like what, 35 cents? I always remember them 50 cents. So let's just put those at 50 cents tops. Basic, couldn't pull, your most expensive card is a Jose Canseco, $3 rookie card. I mean, that was like, whoa. And then Upper Deck came out, and that was 99 cents, and that was in 1990, or 1989. And so those were 99 cents. I didn't buy those then. I literally didn't have those when I was a kid at 89. I got 3 of those packs from relatives or Christmas, but I was right there with a lot of you guys. I didn't spend the 99 cents until 91 is when that's when I could afford $1 a pack. So I think, if you put inflation in $1, it's probably like $2.60 or something now. And those blaster boxes, you get like 8 packs. You divide that up, $2.50, $3 a pack. I don't think that's an issue. I think cards are still cheap. If you want to buy Topps cards or you want to buy cheaper cards, there's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. That's what we did when we were kids. When 86, 87, they were just cheap cards. Everything, all the things I ever collected, it was just cheap. So I can't understand that argument that they're really expensive, because they're not. You can buy cheap cards, so that's probably gonna poke some people, but I mean the truth's right there. It's not that expensive. And as far as vintage goes and stuff, there's really cheap ways to collect vintage. You just go all non-graded, and you can find them for $1. You can find Hall of Famers in dollar boxes. You can find dollar cards everywhere. So wow, I didn't realize I was going to go down this pet peeve things. I guess I had some pet peeves. Okay, well, let me make sure. I think that, I don't, let's see, anything else? I guess that's it. I have the pet peeve of the BVG or the BGS with the sleeve inside. I can't stand that. I think that was a mistake. You can't see the card very clear through both of them. Like, I just don't understand that at all. In the PSA, the bottom left corner and bottom right corner, they still have that PSA logo embedded in the clear plastic. And on the 52 cards and all the way to 56, the bigger cards, it's on the corner. So you can't even look at the corners. So you buy like a PSA 10. I mean, if you buy a PSA 10 and the corner's covered, both corners. because they're perfectly showing it, and literally they're right over top of it. I don't understand that. Does it make me mad? Only when I have them in my collection. So yes, that does make me mad. Because I look at things like my Hank Aaron rookie card that I have has rounded corners. So it's not, I'm looking at it right now. It's still over a part of it, but it's, you guys check that out. It really doesn't make any sense. You know what? I'm looking at the newest holder of my Hank Aaron. It's just on the left side now. I think the other ones, well, anyways, you'll see what I'm talking about. So that's my pet peeves. Think that's it. I'm knocking them done, and we're moving on. So, Mike, there's my pet peeves. There's my pet peeves for everybody. And, yeah, just collect what you love what you collect, and just, you know, get inspiration from other people and enjoy what they have to show you, because it's fun stuff to look at. I love looking at everyone's cards. I love checking out people's collections, and they don't have to be in the best condition in the world for you to enjoy. It doesn't, you know, it's one of those things. So with all that, Mike, thank you for everything you do for the hobby. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that goes on your show, and everybody involved in this community has been awesome. Next, I'm going to knock out another couple of shout outs, and these shout outs are overdue, and I was going to do VRs. So first one is for Sammy, SFI sports cards. I'm going to tag everybody at the end, so if you don't remember, it'll be in my description. I was going to do a contest. He did a VR contest, but I just don't have time right now. Winter swells, like I was talking about. Surfing is my life. It's my wife's life. When the waves are up, we drop everything. Like, you know, clients are getting phone calls that their lawns are getting mowed Monday or next, right? So I just didn't have time, and Mike's just fell into that. And I wanted to get one out for him, not because he has the most followers. I want to get that clear. It's because that's how I got into this whole deal. So even if I don't get this in time to be in Mike's contest, I don't care about the prizes. There was no like favoritism here. Next guy. So Sammy, go check out Sammy's. Awesome guy. He's always been supportive of my videos, always leaves comments. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Next one is for Pepino Man and Pepino Man's balls. Dude, he didn't catch these balls, but he had one used one from the All-Star game. God, or the All-Star game? And one non-used one. Was it the All-Star game? Or anyways, I forgot. But at the time, my mind was blown. Like, me and my wife were watching it. I think it was breakfast. I was watching it. I go, wow, look at that. He got those balls, and he's giving those away. That's so cool. And he wanted me to do I think he wanted us to do a shout out. I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do on that one technically, because I was like, well, I haven't been on YouTube that long, and I can't remember the exact thing. But anyways, Pepino Man is awesome. I really, really enjoy watching your videos. It's awesome to see your collection. I love looking around your wall. Your room's just like mine. It's the same thing. We have the same feelings towards cards and collecting. Like, if you know, my collection isn't just cards. Like, I only buy baseball cards now, but my collecting I've always collected things. I don't throw things that I buy that are toys my whole life. I don't get rid of it, and I always have it in the forefront my whole life. So me and Pepino Man me and Caesar have a lot in common in that, and I love watching your videos because you're just you. You come home and you're after work, and you know, oh, I brought this out, Pepino Man. This one's for you right here. Cracking open. There's a Corona in here. Having a drink on camera. This one for you, Pepino Man. Thank you, letting us be ourselves, to hang out with our friends with our baseball cards. So I really appreciate your honesty and everything you do, and it's awesome. So sometimes you need a little extra, right? Thank you, sir. All right, so Pepino Man, thank you for everything. Really appreciate it. Always leaving comments. So next on the agenda, I've got a little thing right here. So next, I know the shout outs are going to continue. This community. I haven't done a long format in a long time. Not looking at the camera, not looking how much time I've done. Just going off of what is in my heart and what I want to talk about with my friends in my card room and in my collection room. So next on the agenda is all you guys who supported me in my crazy idea about selling cards in boxes, and Justin from League Leaders for making that dream a reality, and everyone who purchased a box to open. That was extra special. Unnecessary. You guys don't need to do that ever. I'm coming out with another series, so you don't need to go out and buy one to support me. You guys support me in your comments. You support me in your videos. None of that's ever necessary. But I really am thankful, and I thank you guys. You guys all know who you are, and I appreciate it. It was awesome, and it was fun to watch you guys open those, and I wanted you all to get a Mickey Mantle. So with that, a beer's kicking in there. With that, what I've been doing, and I told you guys I was going to be buying big cards and doing the MVP collection. Well, I've also been buying I've been selling. So besides those ones, I sold about 50 cards before that on eBay, and then I just started My Slabs like a month and a half ago or something, and I've really loved that. I think I've only sold like 5 cards in there. I probably only have like 15 up, but it's been doing great. I love it. Low fees, really easy listing, easier than eBay even, and I am, I got eBay wired, it feels like. But yeah, just awesome. So what I have been doing is on the ones I'm selling on eBay and everything, like I've been getting rid of the stuff that I never really truly like. I loved them when I got them, but then over time watching YouTube and learning more, not just like saying I want what that guy has, but I want my cards to look like that. So I've been trading out cards, like selling them and buying centered cards that I love. A lot of cards I'm not buying again. Like I'll just be like, one day I'll find those again. Base cards, they're all base cards. Some are rookies, but mostly base cards. But I'm buying the ones that I really didn't want to sell. So I'm making sure I get those ones, and they just in better eye appeal. Way lower grades. I'm selling like the 7's and the 8's and the 6's, and I'm buying, if you see, basically all these are 4's and 5's. Anything without creases in them. Maybe the 4's can have tiny little 1/4 inch long wrinkles, but the eye appeal is all that matters to me right now. And I'm really focused on it. So all these cards I have been purchasing simply off eye appeal and with the cards I sold. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show a card that I sold, and I'm going to show you the card that I bought of the exact card, and you're going to see the difference, and I'm going to tell you the prices. So I think that'll be really cool. So I'm going to bring some of those up right now, and then some of the other ones, they're just cards that I purchased because I have them, and I want to sell the one I have, but I wanted to get this one first. So I'm learning that. Like, find that one first because they're so cheap in 4's. They're like, these cards are not cheap. $80 isn't cheap, but cheaper than a 7, and they look better. So I'll just grab this guy, this guy. This guy were exact copies of the ones I sold. And then I'll bring these up in a minute. So another drink of beer. All right, let me focus you guys back in. Okay, this first one is a 1966 Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente. Lou Rock. There you go. So this guy right here, let's see if I can't get a little more light going on this bad boy. Spin that around. I think that's it. Right there. So this guy right here, the eye appeal to me was stunning. I was so stoked to find this. This was $89. So I'm not going to include, some things were free shipping, some things I paid shipping, I paid taxes, some I bought on My Slab, some I bought on eBay. So I'm just telling you what I paid without all that other stuff included. I put that in my spreadsheet, but I didn't memorize it to the T. So I know I won this for $89. And I sold my other one that you'll see, pop that up now. It was a 6 off center, and I sold that, I want to say $235. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the board. Oh, $265, I think, for this one. Yeah, $265. Yeah, I'll look. And I got this for $89. So, I mean, this thing is, in my opinion, 10 times better looking. And I'm so stoked to add this to my collection. Really, really, really happy with that. Next one is a 1960 Frank Robinson. Look at that. I'm really spending a lot of time, click it in the center there, looking at the cards. And I'm just really, really loving going after these and taking my time. This card was $80, $89. And I had a PSA 7, which I'll pop up in the corner here or cover half the screen. I had that one and I sold that one for $200. And that's before fees are taken out. I understand all that. But my real point in all this was the fact that I love these things. I'm love this way more than my 7 and my 6. I want to stare at this card. They're so perfect and pretty. If I can live with 4s and 5s and happily, and I could save a lot of money. So I've been thrilled to death, and I'm going to keep buying things like that. I'm going to keep selling my other ones. And there's just less money on the table. There's less risk involved. I mean, 4s, it's like 4s only have so far to fall, and 7 has further to fall, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe further to go up, of course. But eye appeal, I think, is going to catch up to the consumer. The more of us collectors get on eBay, get on YouTube and podcasts like I did. Like, I didn't know this stuff existed. And then now that it does, I'm learning from the best out there, from these collectors that have been going on for 30 years. You name them. You can name drop 10 of them right now. So I'm learning a whole bunch about that and the eye appeal. Just so stoked. So this Robin Yount, yes, I sold a Robin Yount. You guys will be blown away. Pop it in the corner here. I sold a PSA 8 off-centered, way off-centered. And I got the 8 in a lot that I purchased a long time ago and so the card was like a $30 card, it ended up being. I sold it for $120 or $119, and I bought this for less than $50. And this thing is sick. It's a 5. I'm not going to sell my other Robin Younts. I think all my other ones are centered very well in my eyes, but especially the 75s, they don't have to be perfect. But this one, cherry. So got that. Really, really so stoked on this experiment. So I'm just going to bring up some more, show you guys some cards that have just been blowing my mind. I had no idea. God, I could just show you all these. I'll go a little faster so you guys can kind of enjoy, so you don't not stuck watching the 7-hour video. Let's see. All right. I'm just going to bring them up. Here we go. First one. This one's a little higher grade. I've lacked on Joe Morgan forever. And after reading, I don't remember what book it is, but it was like top 100 players of all time. It's an awesome book. I wish I knew the name top of my head. Joe Morgan's way up on that list, and I go, man, I should have some. So this has been on my list, and it's a rookie cup, another Lou Rock special right here. Just a sick card. So I spent money on this. I paid comps on this. $106 something. You guys probably see. Yeah, I just bought it, so it just came $106. I want to say. So just insane. But I could get a 4 for way cheaper. But this thing popped up. It was perfectly centered from my eyes. It's a little, you could see a little high, a little low there, but very minimal. But it's not crooked. just another just stunner for my eyes. For the price, second year Joe Morgan card. And then this one blew my mind. This is one of the first ones I picked up once I started going on this track. This is Joe Morgan's rookie card. And I thought this thing was so sick. $78, a 4.5. And you know what? It's so funny because I thought I was looking so carefully at all these cards, going over them and over and over and over in the pictures. And I never noticed that. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. I literally just noticed it the other day finally. And I don't know if it's part of the, Topps ink that got on there. I guess they would have noticed whatever lights they use. But this card's so nice. I was so stoked. So I got his rookie card, Joe Morgan, for $78, 4.5. Looks like a PSA 8. Shane from Shoebox Legend, he sent me a text the other day. He is a lot of my inspiration of going down the 4 rabbit hole, and Wade Boggs too. Sorry, not John Wade Boggs fan. Told you, Wade Boggs. Both of those guys, just the way they take their time on their cards, and they have there's a lot of cost in mind in that. So I've been getting inspiration from those guys. And so Shane texted me, 4's the new 8s, and yes, they are. So this was a 63 Topps Power Plus. I wanted this card for a decade. Why I haven't had it? It's like, there's a million cards I've wanted for a decade or 3 decades or 4 decades. So I bought this one. $98 I won this for. And it's a 5 and it's insane. I mean, it's a combo card. It's like my favorite. Oh gosh, it's so good. So good. And you read the backs on these and they're just, look at that card. Ernie Banks and Hank Aaron. There's nothing not to like about this card. In fact, I like this card way more than I like Ernie Banks' card or Hank Aaron's card individually in 63. Call me out of my mind, but I love those cards too. But this card is, have 2 in 1. It just trips me out. I just think that's I just love combo cards. There's something about it. My whole life, I've always been like, God, you get 2 for the price of 1. So that card is insane. Now this next card is even more beautiful. Somehow. Eddie Matthews, PSA 4, 1958. I kid you not. I'm blowing my own mind when I look at these cards because I go, what in the heck? I know when you have them without a case, raw, you can see more things. And I'm just realizing that if I can't see it, I think there's a 16th inch wrinkle on this thing that I saw, and I can't even remember where it was. I think that's what gave it the 4. But then who cares? So I have a 6 in this, and it's not perfectly centered. It doesn't look as perfect as this. Doesn't look as good. I have it on the wall right now, and I'm gonna sell that 6. So this was $38. Dude, most of these cards, which I'm finding now, because I think the economy is just, it's making everything in the world, people don't have that discretionary income they can burn on things. I don't think it's anything to do with our hobby. Totally sidetracked, but that's my opinion. So with these cards, I'm putting in higher bids, but maybe it's because I'm used to paying higher prices on higher grades, but I'm putting in higher bids and I'm winning all these things for way cheaper than what I thought they would go for. And I don't always look at comps before I bid on, if I'm going to spend $100, kind of going to let the market dictate. If I really want the card, I'm going to bid what I want. I'm not going to bid $200 for this card, but this card right here, I think I bid $78. And I think I got it, I don't have it in front of me, but in the 30 zone, 31, something like that. And it's so nice. Look at it. What's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. I have a 6 from SGC that looks really nice. I have loved this card. So I wanted to make sure I got this card before I bought this card before I sold the other one. My 6 is slightly more vibrant. And I'm into the vibrancy, but this, to me, it's just nicer looking. So I'll shoot all those, I'll shoot all the cards that I have, which I have all these. I'll shoot them out on the corner so you can see the difference. You can be your own judge. Next card here. Bob Gibson, 4.5. I'll go faster, I promise. I just love, basically when I'm looking at cards, I'm looking at them, pretend like I'm looking at them for the first time. When I'm on video, I like to relook at the cards, because it's not every day I can sit in here and stare at this card for this long. But while I have it out and I'm got a video going, that's why I like looking at them. This one's not perfectly centered, but this was $41 all day long. Like, there's no risk in that in my mind. It goes down to 21. Who cares? That's nothing. Next one, I think I showed this before. I showed it to some friends. This was $11. I just was like, okay, well, I have this one, I think, in an 8, so I'll sell it because this one looks better. This one's more centered. It looks exactly the same. It just has soft corners. So, whew, man, like, just mind-blowing. Next one, another mind blower. $89. Sandy Koufax 1964 tops. Look at that. Look at that. Whew. See the back? See how those corners roll up? There's your 4, right there. I will take this 4 all day long now. Changing everything. I've been selling so many cards that it's just so I could buy more 4s and 5s. This one I think I may have shown off too. I've had this for a while. This was, I started this journey without telling everybody, a year ago. So I have many more than this, but these are the ones, some of these that I just kind of wanted to share that if I hadn't shown them. This was $98. And I thought the eye appeal was amazing. Really nice centering. Yeah, it's soft. Like, CSG, no doubt in my mind, they are a full-blown, they're BVG grading or maybe worse. This is, at best, a 4. I think this would go a 4 on SGC just because of eye appeal. But if you did technical on it, I mean, you might even be 3.5 because of that. But it could get a 4. But they're off. But they're inexpensive. So $98. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, I got one more. I got one more card that's super random that I didn't know I could ever afford a card like this of this player. And then when I saw this image pop on the screen, it just, I go, okay, well, I'm going to follow that. I'm going to look up the comps. And it was hard to find comps on this exact one. And I just go, well, I want that card. So I'm going to just put a bid in at, I think I put in at $424. Could have been way over comps. Like, I could be $100 over comps, but I couldn't find a comp for this card in the way this one looked. But the image just struck me and the player blew my mind. And the set itself is, if you know my collection, if you've seen my collection in the flesh, this fits right in. I love these cards. This is a Nap Lajoie. Look at that image. 1911 T201 Mecca cigarettes. Now, I have done zero research on this set at the moment. I just wanted to show you guys this card. Period. I didn't know I could ever afford a Nap Lajoie card. Ever. Never thought. Because Nap Lajoie's cards were like that bicycle card. I always called it a bicycle card when I was a kid. Doug shared a picture with me because he was talking about it too when he was a kid. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the green one. It was on all the albums and everything. It was like the second, number 2 to the Hannes Wagner card. So look at the back. Napoleon Lajoie. I have a plain day card of Napoleon Lajoie. And look at that. He's like taking fungo practice, it looks like giving the infielders, you know, it looks like he tossed the ball up and he's going for a hit. I thought the image was stunning. I love it. I love this card. So I got this for $304. And I think my bid was $100 over. I'm just like, I'm taking that card. It's like one of those things. I've been selling a bunch of cards, so I had to list some money. And I was able to get this. And this is so awesome. So I'll add this to my Frankenstein collection. And I learned that this week from Mike Moynihan. Another one of those words I learned in the collecting. I'd never heard of that before, but I really like it. If you just made it up on the spot, it was awesome. It means you collect all different, you know, grading companies, all different cards, like grading companies he was talking about, SGC, everybody. You look at my collection, it's a Frankenstein collection. I'll go all over the map. Just one day I'm buying an elite card. Like, who would ever thought? So, yeah. I will let you guys go after that. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. I'll do a little editing skills on this one, meaning I'll pop those cards up in the side. So you guys can kind of see the difference. And just, you know, if you agree with me or not, you know, tell me what your thoughts are. Saving a lot of money doing this, and my collection looks better in my eyes. I'm just absolutely thrilled. If I could flip a switch and switch all these to perfectly centered 4's, nice images, any of them, they all looked any of these, I would do that in a second across the whole collection. So I'm excited for that because it gives me a lot of hobby budget, because I can just trade cards, basically sell them and trade them, and then slabs, my slabs, it's 1% plus PayPal's fee and shipping, so it's not just 1%, but it has saved me some money and it's very easy, so that's exciting. So with all that said, guys, oh yeah, this bat, last thing. I bought this used on eBay, $12. And this is the exact bat I had as a kid growing up. And we used to play home run derby in my front yard with this. We would get these balls and wrap them in duct tape after they exploded from those machines where you grab them at Lamppost Pizza. And we always use this bat. And it was just the sickest bat. And I have it somewhere in a box somewhere. And I just happened to be looking on eBay because Mangini collects the mini bats. I love mini bats. Every time I went to a game, I had mini bats. I've got one mini bat on the wall. I've got a couple in boxes. This is the exact bat. So I was really stoked to have it. I just wanted to feel it in my hands again. So, all right. All that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And you guys have been awesome. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Tell me what your favorite card is you saw today. Like, all time, like, that's the one. If you could have any of these cards up here, just go, dude, that's the one I want. Or I love that one because of this. I love hearing that in my comments. Those are like my favorite comments, like, oh, I love that card, or that was my favorite card. So I love that stuff. That's my favorite thing about baseball cards, is it takes me to that place, and I can just look at them and just enjoy them. So thank you guys. Double shaka. And till next time, keep collecting, have fun, and just enjoy this really, really fun hobby. Okay, I know I will. You